So Liverpool have just beaten Man United 3-0 at Old Trafford, and again, this was honestly the best slot performance that we've seen so far this season. Obviously, the clean sheet itself is immense, but we'll just go through the game play by play, right? So, same starting 11 as the last match. Again, sort of what you expect. They looked very, very solid against Brentford, but this game, that whole squad improved upon it massively. Obviously, that back four looked very, very solid. The likes of your Robertsons, your Trents, all playing exactly how you'd want them to play. Obviously, we had moments where Trent would sort of come inside and obviously spray these ridiculous passes that we all know that he's capable of doing. So having that as an outlet as well as the defensive sort of capability of him. And I will say I think Trent actually defended quite well for the majority of the game. Got beat once early doors by Rashford, but all in all, he was very, very solid in that position. It's exactly what you want to see. So Konate looked boss again, and there's a little bit of contention around that second centre-half position at the moment. I think Konate has well and truly made that his now, above the likes of your Kwanzas. And obviously Gomez again didn't even get a mention, did he, this match? So alongside Van Dijk, that pair were absolutely brilliant. I thought Van Dijk, honestly, despite being booked, played one of the best games he's played for Liverpool for a long, long time. Really kept everybody quiet, really limited Xerxes' chances up there. I think Xerxes had one sort of chance in the second half. But let's get on to the good stuff. That midfield three absolutely killed it today. Don't get me wrong, Szoboszlai pissed me off, especially towards the end of that second half where he was fucking about with it and should have made it 4-0. But McAllister, immense. Gravenberch, man of the match display from that man. No doubt about it, from my opinion. Obviously the forwards did it exceptional, as they always do. But Gravenberch in that 6 pivot role, it is as if it's a brand new signing. Like, Klopp didn't seem to get a lot out of him when he was playing. I guess he was playing a slightly different position, slightly different style of play. This suits Gravenberch down to a T. Everybody's screaming out about the fact that we need to sign a number 6, and whilst I do agree with that, you've got somebody there who's clearly shown that he has the ability to play in that role very, very well, and he did that today. He was mopping up everything. He was winning challenges. The turn he did for Trent's disallowed goal was second to none. Like, absolutely took the whole midfield out of the game for Man United. Played a lovely little ball through, and Trent was unlucky with the offside. But he absolutely changed how Liverpool played. That dynamic ability that they have in that centre of the park, just to spin it and transition through to an attack. Nobody on the pitch did that as good as Gravenberch today. So obviously, as I said, a little bit disappointed with him in some aspects, but at the end of the day, he did get the assist for Salah, which was a nice little roll ball in. And then we obviously need to talk about that front three. Salah is honestly getting towards the point where he is just he is just world class, like permanent, like former temporary class is permanent. That man is permanently doing something at the minute. He is like on fire at this moment in time. Again, lovely little dinked ball for Diaz's first goal, and then again for the second one, just that little outside of the foot roll across to Diaz, who curls it in lovely. And Diaz looked fantastic today as well. That's the one big criticism with Diaz, is that his end product isn't quite there all the time. He bagged the brace at Old Trafford. You got to give him his credit at the end of the day. He did lose the ball quite a few times before then, which was a little bit frustrating, but all in all, if you're going to stick the ball in the back of the net, you can't really moan. I thought the only one that was a little bit, I don't know if disappointing is the right word, but obviously we didn't see the best of him, was Jota. Jota did seem quite quiet today. Again, obviously Liverpool have now 6 forwards with the addition of Chiesa, so you've got to think maybe if that continues to happen, you can see the likes of a Gakpo or a Nunez and all sort of rotate round, and that's what's good. Healthy competition in that starting 11 is exactly what you want to see. We will just touch on Manchester United, and just very quickly, shout out to my mate Tism. He's always wanted me to do a Man United video. This is the exact sort of one I wanted to make for you, buddy. You lot were absolutely shit. Let's not hold back on it. Casemiro's been washed for the last 18 months, and nothing proved it more than today. They looked poor on the ball. The big thing they kept saying on Sky, and I don't often agree with the pundits on there, but you talk about a lack of identity. What is Man United's playstyle? It's clearly this 4-2-4, right, with the attacking midfielder and forwards and such, and they try and be compact and all good. And that worked great for about 20 minutes, and then everything went out the window. Casemiro's mistakes got capitalised upon not once but twice, and I know you can't pin it all on one player, and I think it's harsh to, but he was at the detriment for those first 2 goals. He was. Again, Man United's all-around play wasn't good enough. They didn't seem to create too many chances, really, United. Again, Mazraoui had a half-decent shot in the second half that was saved comfortably. But other than that, I don't know what to say about United. There's nothing there. They seem to throw lots of money at this project under Ten Hag, and I don't understand where it all goes. What, 50 million on De Ligt? I thought he looked bang average today, to be honest with you. Xerxes, I think, is a bit of a weird one myself. He's almost like that false nine Bobby Firmino-esque player that just doesn't really fit how United play, at least from my opinion. I'm sure United fans will violate me in the comments about it. But he just doesn't seem to work in that position for me. I can't place where you'd want him to play. Do you want him as that midfielder linking up? I know he was replacing Mount's position today, and that's obviously not where he's best suited, but I struggle to see what he actually offered that United side today. Despite nearly scoring, you've got to give him his credit. He got in the right positions in that sense. Rashford looked done. He delivered one half-decent ball through to Xerxes. That's all we got out of Rashford all day. And Garnacho on that right wing seemed quiet as well. But again, Liverpool's defence is now arguably the best in the league, at least on form, right? They haven't conceded at all. They did shut up shop quite nicely. So that does, of course, now make it 3 wins out of 3 for Arne Slot, and as we've just mentioned, 0 goals conceded at this point. I think this was a real sort of statement, though. I feel like the first couple of games, Liverpool sort of quietly went about their business with Slot. Like, again, the Ipswich away win, very nice, very standard stuff. And again, Brentford at home, they're not like big challenges on paper anyway, right? With the greatest respect to them, Liverpool should be winning those games, whoever's in charge. But this, for a third game in charge in the Premier League, away at Old Trafford, arguably the biggest game of Liverpool's whole season, right? They've absolutely just outclassed that Man United side, and realistically, that's a side that Liverpool struggled against in recent memory, at least going back to the likes of last season where they slipped up a little bit in the Premier League, drawing 2-2, and obviously that famous FA Cup win for Man United where Diallo won it and made it 4-3, right? So that's clearly not been the easiest place that Liverpool have visited in the past, despite the incredible record which has now continued. Man United fans, just to remind you, you have lost again at Old Trafford, which is quite funny. But I think that Slot just generally should be, well, he's going to be overjoyed, isn't he? There was a little bit of question marks under the appointment. Obviously, the disappointment in the transfer window of not necessarily signing as many players as what they should do. Do they need to sign many more players? I think in the long run, you'd argue probably yes, because you'll have fitness concerns and things. But whilst this starting 11 is fit, and whilst it's playing this style of play, they are good enough to give anyone a game easily. There's no reason why they shouldn't be challenging for the title. They arguably were challenging for the title last season. They just fell away at the final sort of 5-6 games, didn't they? They sort of ran a bit out of steam. I do think that could happen again, but at this moment in time, they are certainly in for as good a shout as anybody for that Premier League, in my opinion. But more importantly, what do you guys think? Are you as overjoyed as I am with this start of this Slot reign? I mean, you can't not be. You've won 3 games on the bounce and not conceded. It's been class. You've got some tasty fixtures coming up, especially that Real Madrid one in the Champions League. Be interesting to see how they get on with that, given the new format of that competition. It's just going to be fun. We're in for a good ride. We've got what is clearly quite a good side at the minute, and they're playing this lovely free-flowing football. What more could you want? Anyway, United fans, let me know. Do you think you guys are going to bring this back? Do you think Ten Hag's done? I can't see how he's honestly still employed. He's literally employed off the back of those 2 FA Cups. That's it. Honestly, if Liverpool had beaten you in the last season, where you guys did win that 4-3, you'd have a new manager right now. That's what's mad about that. If that one result had been different, or if you'd lost in the final, or if you'd lost to Coventry or whoever the fuck you nearly lost to, you would have a different manager. And your entire season could be completely different. But you've stuck with him. Let me know if you guys think it's the correct decision. I think from a Liverpool fan, Ten Hag staying in charge is the best fucking thing in the world. Keep hold of him, keep him as long as you can. Same as what it was with Solskjaer, same as what it was with Rangnick. You boys keep hold of him, you keep paying him every month. I think it's class. Anyway, interested to know your thoughts. Let me know down below. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it. But more importantly, thanks ever so much for watching.